going to begin, as we do this morning, resting back into a comfortable, supported posture. Using your blanket to support a relaxed and energetic alignment of your head and neck with the whole of your spine. Using any bolsters or pillows under your knees to support balance through your pelvis, release through your low back and hips. Allowing your legs to release and lengthen out of your hip joints. Allowing your arms to release and lengthen out of your shoulders. Taking a moment to make any adjustments to your comfort, attending to the needs and requests of your body this morning. As your gaze begins to soften, you gradually begin to call your senses inside of yourself. Allowing your awareness to begin to ride on the wave of your breath as it flows in and out. Bringing your awareness to all the parts of your body that are making contact with support this morning. Feeling the back of your head, upper back and shoulders. The resting position of your arms. Noticing the orientation of your joints. So your elbows in flexion or extension. Wrists, hands, and fingers. And as you sense the whole of your torso's impression and outline on the earth, you might feel into where there's more pressure or less. Feeling internally the pattern that your body creates on the support. Letting that flow into your pelvis and hips. Down through your legs, noticing the orientation of the joints of your knees, ankles, feet and toes. Allow that inner lens to broaden as you sense your global outline and impression on the earth. Feeling into what pattern might remain on a bed of sand if you were lying comfortably and began to float. Looking down on that pattern and sensing from within yourself. And allow that awareness to continue to expand to include your wholeness. Since the global outline and imprint of your body your sense of volume from your feet to your head and all the spaces in between. Guiding awareness back to your breath. You might begin to count in the length of your inhalation to a slow count of 4, pausing at the top and emptying out for an even, slow count of 4. Letting the breath flow in through your nose for 4 counts. Pausing at the top. Letting the breath flow out through your nose or mouth for an even, slow count. And as you guide awareness back into your neck and head, with that 4 count breath, gently tip your head back. And in the pause, take a moment to feel the shape and sensation of that engagement through your neck. Your 4 count exhalation, slowly and gradually release. And allow a natural cycle of breath to soften you into rest. Good morning. Inhaling that 4 count breath as you tip your head back, pressing into the blanket or ground to feel the feedback of that contraction. Pausing into that awareness. And exhaling that slow 4 count of breath through the whole range of your release. Allowing a natural breath to bring you home to rest. Inhaling 4 counts, tip your head, pause and feel. Exhaling 4 counts, tracking sensation, connection, resting in a natural breath. Adding elevation and retraction to your shoulder blades with extension in your cervical spine. Inhaling that 4 counts as you tip your head and slide your 2 shoulder blades up and in. Pausing for that moment to feel. Slow 4 count breath as you gradually release. Natural breath to let go. Tip and shrug for 4 and pause. Slowly release for 4 and mouth. Once more, tipping, shrugging for 4 counts in and pause. Slowly release for 4 and mouth. Letting your breath resume a natural rhythm. Take a moment to feel your body. Observe what you're aware of. And with your arms resting long by your side, returning to that even breath. As you inhale, begin to roll your arms like rolling pins on the floor. Knuckles curl towards your body or the floor. Shoulders coil up. You take a pause to zone in to the engagement of your chest. And slow 4-count breath. Releasing out, releasing down. Finding a natural breath as you soften and rest. Inhaling for 4 as you roll in and curl, pausing at the top. Exhaling for 4, synchronizing the release with your out breath, letting everything go. And that twice more by finding the cadence of your own breath. The stimulation of the inhalation, supporting your focused, precise, and intentional movement. Engagement of your slow out breath, supporting the release and relaxation. As you take a moment to rest, once again resuming your native breath. Notice any arousal or instinctual rise of breath. Lean into and allow any urges that want to sigh, hum, or empty the breath through your mouth. I read a beautiful quote this morning. Audible exhales are like love notes to our bodies. As you're ready, begin to use your feet to slide your bolsters off to one side. Bringing the soles of your feet to the earth. Lining your feet, knees, the width of your hips, so there's a sense of being supported by the ground and by your own inner biotensegrity architecture. The divine design of your own bone structure, connective tissues, tensing in opposite directions, supporting you. Feel where you can soften muscular energy and be supported in this shape. Returning to our even breath with a pause in the middle. We'll inhale as we roll our pelvis towards our heels, engaging low back so it arches from the floor, pausing into the shape. And slowly exhaling, focusing on the release of your low back, tracking the balance point of your pelvis, neck, and head. Allowing a natural breath to soften you. Inhaling for 4 counts as you are. Pause. Exhaling for 4 counts. Using the whole of the out breath to move through that range of release. Letting your breath be easy and natural as you rest. And finding this 5 more times in your own time. You might count the length of your inhale, feel into the pause. Counting the length of your exhale. Synchronizing that unfurling with your breath. As you continue in your own comfortable rhythm, Allowing your head and neck to be free. You're feeling the traction that the forward movement of your pelvis creates. Inviting a glide of your chin to your heart. Tracking that slow release all the way through your spine. From your pelvis, through your neck and your head. And as you take a moment, completing the one you're on, inviting a moment to rest. Resuming your natural breath and just feeling how it wants to pour back into you. Where you feel that inner movement. And breathing in and using your exhalation to tuck your pelvis, flatten your back. Engaging your pelvic floor, your abdominals. Inhaling as you slowly release. And exhaling as you melt, softening efforts. Allow the in-breath just to drop in. And use that 4-count exhale to gently tuck and flatten your back. Maybe feeling your chin tip back as this creates slack through your neck and head. Inhaling as you slowly release. And exhaling as you melt all efforts and feel. Once more, flowing through 5 more cycles, just in your own comfortable time. So we're not arching our back, we're just feeling a balanced, relaxed back. And then engaging our abdomen to feel that reciprocal inhibition of our back as it opens to the floor. Releasing your abdominal muscles, looking for a neutral, relaxed back. Undoing what you've done without doing anything extra. Feel the balanced starting position of your pelvis. The engagement into that posterior tuck. Can you release back to balance without reactivating your back? And as you complete the one that you're on, allow yourself that gift of your body through a spontaneous, audible exhale. Allow yourself just to be in this present moment, ceasing all doing. And coming back to that even breath with a pause in the center as we flow. Inhaling as you arch for 4 counts and pause. Exhaling, first release the arch and then flatten and pause. Inhale, release your belly, arch your back and pause. Exhale, release your back and flatten and pause. And continuing in such a way that feels non-forceful in effort, rather conscientious, relaxed, and pleasant in effort. Feel for that space along the continuous flow that is a balanced pelvis, where your back and belly have both released before one side re-engages to move you. If you can track that balance point in your pelvis and your neck and head, guiding yourself intentionally in the direction of ease for you, where it's most clear and obvious to activate and move into. And slowly find that balanced space of relaxation as you undo. Cease doing. Feel the presence in your body. Being. Feel the natural flow of your breath. Feel the rise and fall of your belly. The gentle expansion of your rib cage. Bringing your hands underneath your head, sliding your blanket off to one side. We're going to start with our arch and curl, and then add some leg variations here. With both feet on the floor, elbows wide, shoulders broad. As you inhale and arch, you feel how this position of your arms creates more feedback and glide in your shoulder blades to come towards your hips. Slow exhale as you melt back to neutral. Allow your in-breath to drop into you. And as you exhale and flatten, allow your shoulders and head to follow the curl of your spine. Gently cradling your face with your elbows, feeling that strong engagement, your pelvic floor and belly. Inhaling as you come down slowly. Exhaling as your elbows rest wide. Balanced pelvis, relaxed lower back. Inhale as you are, and pause. Exhale, slow 4-count breath and release. Let your in-breath drop in. And exhale, gently flatten and curl. Pausing at the top, feeling in. Inhaling as you slowly lower. And exhaling, letting go. Keeping your arms in this position if it's available. Lower your right knee out to the side. Let your pelvis roll to the right. Slide your right leg out along the floor. Extending your leg. Keeping your left foot grounded, knee facing the ceiling. Gently curl the toes of your right foot. Point through your ankles. You feel your heels sliding headward. Arch your back and let your shoulders glide. Chin towards heart. And exhale, let it go. Again, letting the in-breath drop into you. And as you exhale, spreading your toes, flexing your ankles, flattening your back, Feel how your right leg could just lift away from the floor, as well as your shoulders and head. Slightly turn your toes out to the right. And slowly lower the weight of your leg, your shoulders and head. Keeping your back open towards the earth. As your elbows soften down, release your belly, your ankle and your toes. Allow a moment to just receive the breath as it wants to flow in and through you. With your inhale, curl your toes, point your ankle, arch your back. As your shoulders slide down, let your elbows gently reach into the floor. And exhale, slowly release, melting out of your back, your shoulders, calf and foot. Receiving the inhalation, spreading your toes, flexing your ankle, flattening your back. And you feel how the tuck of your pelvis lifts your right leg. You feel how that can be an easy, effortless, integrated movement. Lowering the weight of your leg, neck, and head by staying connected to the muscles of your abdomen and pelvic floor. Letting your elbows rest wide, softening all tension through the front of your body. With those right toes aiming out to the side, let your knee bend and open. Slide your foot parallel to your left foot, and then roll into your pelvis and foot to stand both feet together on the floor. Going through two arches and curls here with both feet on the floor, both knees facing the ceiling. Inhale as you are. And pause. Exhale. First release the arch. And take the last of that breath into your curl. And pause. Inhale, slowly easing down. And exhale, letting go. Inhale, arch. And pause. Exhale, release and curl. Pausing at the top. Inhaling slowly down. Exhaling, letting go. Let your left knee drop to the side. Let your pelvis gently roll to the left. Slide the weight of your left leg out long. Feel it unfurl from your pelvis through your hip, through your knee, ankle, and foot. As you inhale, curl your toes, point your ankle, arch your back, let your shoulders slide, your elbows press, your neck get long. And exhale, melt, let it all go. You might inhale, spreading your toes, flexing your ankle. And as you exhale, bringing that activation into your pelvis, lifting your leg, curling up. Inhaling as you lower the weight of your leg and head. Eccentric lengthening contraction out of your abdomen. Or staying engaged as we disengage. Softening all the way down to rest. Inhaling as your toes curl, ankle points, pelvis rocks, back arches. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, spread your toes, flex your ankle. Exhale, flatten your back. Feel how that draws your left thigh into your hip socket. And feel how light your head and leg can be in curling up. Lowering slowly with your inhale. Releasing completely with your exhale. Let your left toes aim out to the left side. Let your knee bend, your hip and pelvis rotate. Slide that foot along the floor, rolling into your hip, and your foot to stay on the weight of that leg. You might reorient your feet. Once more, we'll flow through 2 arches and curls with both knees looking at the ceiling, both feet connected to the earth. Inhaling as we arch, feeling for any new awareness, noticing. Exhale, releasing the arch and curling in and up. You feel the lift of your roots, the release of your low back. Inhaling as you come down. Exhaling as you let go. Inhale, arch. Exhale, release through your back. Engage through your front and curl. Inhaling, slowly down. Track for that balance. Position in your pelvis. Soft resting tone through the muscles of your back and your belly and your pelvic floor. As you relax your arms for a moment, you're welcome to stretch your legs out or keep them bent. Just taking a moment to feel into the suppleness through the tissues, muscles, space of your back and belly and ribs. Notice how to breathe here. There is nothing to do but to allow. Allow your tissues to expand and retract. Allow yourself to be supple. Relax. To be breathe. As you're ready, begin to transition, rolling over onto your belly. Just finding your path of ease. Your path of least resistance, least force, least effort. And as you arrive, stack your hands and make a little pillow for your forehead to rest. Allow your elbows to rest wide. Just feeling through the whole of your body's imprint, through the front, as an outline, as a pattern, as an impression on the floor. Notice which parts of your toes and feet are touching down. Can you sense the orientation of your joints here? Rotation in your pelvis, inward or outward. Heels dropping inward or outward. And tucking the toes of your left foot. Let them spread and breathe into the floor as you reach the sole of your foot towards the bottom of your mat. Feel your thigh and leg lift away from the floor. Maybe feel a hike of your right hip. And slowly release, letting your toes pour like water. Letting the top of your foot and ankle relax. Undoing any hike of your right hip. We'll inhale as we tuck our left toes. Reach through our heel to lift our leg and pause. Allow for your right hip to hike. And exhale, matching the release of your left leg, right hip hike. And then taking a moment to rest in a natural breath. Once more, inhaling as you tuck your toes and lift your left thigh, let your right hip hike. Exhaling as you slowly release. You allow your left heel to drop open to the side for your thigh to roll in. Maybe just taking a moment to notice what you're aware of. Contrasting sensations or placements from right to left. Inhaling as you tuck your right toes under, lifting your thigh, letting your left hip gently hike. And slowly exhaling as you release. All the way down to the top of your ankle. Into your thigh, your hip, letting go. Inhaling as you tuck your toes. Reach is the hike of your left hip happening naturally as you reach your right leg longer. And slowly and gradually let it. Once more, tucking your toes, reaching out through your heel, lifting your thigh, letting your opposite hip hike to support the lift of your, length of your leg, and slowly release. Letting the top of your ankle, top of your foot release. Maybe even feeling like your heels could drop open, your thighs could release in. This time, tucking both sets of toes together. Reach both heels out, lift both thighs up like a yawn. Feel that hug into your center body. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go. We're going to count the breath just to give us the sense. Inhale, tuck and lift. 2, 3, 4. Release. 2, 3, 4. Once more. Tuck. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. And out. 2, 3. And melt. Let everything go. Feel how your body wants to receive the breath, wants to empty or sigh out the breath. You feel a reach and a lengthening through your left toe. Extend your left hip, picking up your leg. Feeling that engagement in your low back and buttock. And slowly, with control, lowering the weight of your leg. Letting your heels drop open, letting everything go. Feel how as you begin to re-engage, your thigh realigns in your hip. And your foot comes in line with your knee and hip. And then when you lift, you might add extension of your spine, keeping your elbows and forearms grounded, connecting through your whole back. And slowly and gradually, coming all the way down, letting go. We'll just cue the breath and count. In, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Out. 2, 3, 4. Melt. Once more, left leg, hip and spine extends. In, 2, 3, 4. And out. 2, 3, 4. Melt. Let everything go. Recalibrate your breath. Maybe take a moment to notice what you feel from right to left through your feet, your legs, your hips, your spine. Bringing that into our right leg. As you start to point your toes, feel the shift in your hip. And as you lift up your leg, feel the activation of your buttock, your low back. And slowly lowering the weight of your leg. Tracking long range through the whole descent. Connecting, releasing. Option to add extension of your spine with your right hip. As you inhale to lift. 2, 3, 4. And down. 2, 3, 4. And melt. And 2 more, just in your own time. Your counts of breath might be shorter or longer. Feel how you can modulate and synchronize the precision and intention of your movement with your in-breath. The agency and connection through full release with your out-breath. Feel the space, the breath, the feeling of letting everything go. And as we take that movement into both hips together, as well as our spine, we're going to start with a point and reach through our toes, Feeling our thighs realign in our hip joints. Feel the beginning of the activation in your buttock. And slowly lift both legs, your heart, your forehead. Feel the center of your pelvis is counterbalancing to the floor. Feel the hug through the back. And slowly release. 2, 3, 4, and melt. And you let yourself pour wider and melt into the width of your mat. Once more, pointing your toes, breathing in as you float up. You feeling the pause, the hug at the top, and lowering for 4, 3, 2, 1. Melting and letting yourself pour open. Letting your breath come into your body, letting your awareness feel where you are allowing the breath to move. Bending your left knee so that the sole of your foot is looking at the ceiling. Begin just to lower that left heel off to the right and up and over to the left. Just taking an easy flow here through a comfortable range of motion. And feeling how your thigh muscles and tissues are getting a massage from the ground as it spirals open and in. Maybe bringing that awareness into the movement in your hip joint. Feeling when your hip is rotating laterally, medially in your hip socket. Maybe your pelvis is rolling. Bringing that foot back so that it feels like it's just floating on top of your knee. You're going to feel and sense into building or creating a little bit of your own inner resistance. So as you start to drop your foot towards the right, only go like an inch, but imagine that you're pressing into something. And see if you can really dial in to that muscular engagement through your inner thigh and knee. And then slowly start to release and just let it float towards the left as a way of undoing before anything on your outer hip gets activated. So imagine your foot is pressing into something as it drops towards the right. You feel that something stop the movement and clearly dial in to the engagement. And then slowly release. And just allow your heel to drift out to the left. Any degree that feels like release, rather than a stretch, a pull, or a doing of something else. Good. Bringing your heel towards the right. Imagine you're pushing into a wall. As you release, imagine that wall is following you. The muscles are lengthening under load. Good. Once more, bringing your left heel towards the right. Small movement. And letting it release slowly out towards the left. Good. Rolling back to the center. Gently hugging that heel towards your buttock. Again, you can imagine your heel is being blocked by something. And as you begin to extend your leg, you can imagine whatever blocked your heel is following your heel all the way back down. Letting everything go. You're welcome. Was that helpful?
Yes.
Okay, great. Bending your right knee. And just taking a nice little journey of that heel, right and left. Letting the movement be like a massage for your thigh as it rolls along the floor. And play with the pace of your movement. Noticing that the slower you go, the more you can track and feel. Feel the movement in your hip joint. Stay where it's easy and relaxed. And as you come back to the center, start to press your right heel down towards your left. Feel your thigh rolling open. And slowly release back to the center. You can imagine as you bring your leg, your lower leg down towards the left, that there's a wall there that you're gently pressing into. And then imagine that wall is following you back to the center, into a space of release. Good. Bringing your lower leg to the left. Feeling the connection in your hip through your inner thigh. And slowly releasing. Good. Bring your foot back on top of your knee. Squeeze your heel towards your buttock. And imagine you're pressing into a wall. And slowly release. Controlling the descent, the lowering of your leg all the way to the floor. And as you touch down, let everything go. Bending both knees together. Give your heels a little windshield, wipe from right to left. As you begin, try to just move in your hip joint without rolling your pelvis. And just feel where that range of movement is. Feel the massage of your thighs along the floor. Feel the counter chiral spiral in your hip joint. And then allow your pelvis to roll. And let your head roll along your hands. And let the movement be loose and relaxed. I'm just going to play with a little yawny pattern. I'm going to be your mirror. So as your heels swing over to your left, you're going to let your left arm extend. You're going to let your right hand come in front of your face. You're going to let your right foot find the floor behind your left leg, and then just reach that knee towards the ceiling. And then you're just going to pour back in. And lowering the weight of your leg. Letting your two heels resume that little swing. So just loose and relax. Same direction. Heels off to the left. Feel your right leg reaching behind your left leg. Let your knee open towards the ceiling. Feel that buttock engage. And release back down. And let your two heels find that little swing. Once more, same direction. Letting your heels come off to the left. Feel your right foot find the floor as you keep rolling through your hips. Let your knee open. And you could keep going. So many possibilities. Rolling back on to your belly. Letting your two heels swing. And as you let your two heels swing, just notice if you notice any difference in just the awareness, direction, sensation. Good. So now you are going to go to your right. So your heels are going to swing to the right. And you're going to let your pelvis and your spine just keep rolling. Your left foot will find the floor behind you. The knee will open towards the ceiling. And let the weight of that leg pour back down. Let yourself just arrive back in that little swing. Good. Twice more to your right. So when your heels reach right, then feel your pelvis go. Feel your shoulders go. Let everything go. If it felt good, you could even keep rolling onto your back with that left knee open. And then keep on rolling. Right on back. Let your knees and heels resume that swing. Beautiful. One more time. Make it playful. Feel one thing leading into the next thing, into the next thing, into what is possible. Where do you want to go? Where can you go? And how slow can your flow be back to that little heel swing? Do you notice any difference in the windshield wipe of your feet and the connection in your hip? And we're going to start by going off to the left. We're going to let our left leg extend and our right foot find the floor. And let that knee open up towards the ceiling. And we're going to bring our left knee forward. And let our right knee drop behind it. And we're going to roll. Lovely. Letting that right leg extend. Feel free to yawn it out. Flex your toes up towards the ceiling and then roll in from your hips so they face the front. Towards the ceiling. Back towards the front. And then let your pelvis go with it as they face the front. Let your pelvis roll. You could even roll towards the top of your foot. As you open, let that right hemi-pelvis reach towards the floor so you can sit up out of your hips. Toes forward, let it roll. Maybe reach out across the horizon, feel for the yawn. Coming back through the center, feeling that change in your hip, reaching out for that leg. Just maybe a little yawn over to one side. Let's play with that one more time. Starting with your toes. Pelvis lifts and rolls. Maybe a look out. And a return. Toes towards the ceiling. Thigh unfurls. Right sitting bone reaches towards the floor. Maybe there's a little tip down and over. Beautiful. Let that left hand and forearm slide down onto the floor and let your right leg just be dropped in. Nice. Take a breath out through our right arm, yielding, grounding through that left forearm and engaging our left waist. You want to feel that? Yummy yawn. And then circle through the shoulder, palm faces away. Little spiral roll through that bottom arm as you lift into. Little shoulder circle through that left palm. And that engagement through the right side of your knee. And then take a reach of that left hand. Look out past your right knee and just feel a sense of your tissues yawning away from the curl. Breathe your hand across your heart. Peel it open. And we'll find that little flow. A little yielding through the spiral of our left forearm. Breath out through. This can stay oriented forward, or it might feel good to open it up. Finding that shoulder circle, letting the reach of your right arm bring you up. Shoulder circle on that left side. And then yawn and reach out as you find that rotation through your upper body. Feeling open across your heart. All the way to the sky. One more time. Let's inhale, coming down. Spiraling open. Exhale. Let our right hands lift into. Inhale, opening on that left side. Exhale, curling and reaching across. Inhale, healing up across your heart. And exhale, we'll yield back down onto that left forearm. Let our right leg hang free. Point our toes. And as we arch our left waist, we're going to let our right hemi-pelvis be free to slide and grow that leg a little longer. We're going to flex our right foot, engage our right waist, and feel that thigh bone drawing up into our hip socket. Inhale, point your toes, reach and glide. Exhale, flex, drawing up and in. Once more, flowing with your breath. Maybe that 4 count in and 4 count out. releasing out of your waist, letting everything go. We're going to take a circle of that right foot forward, open in our hip, roll across our seat. Isn't that yummy?
Yes, it's so good. It's only taken years to get it down now. This is amazing.
We're going to slide over onto our right, and what we're practicing is just letting our pelvis and our leg come along. So it came along. It can come along. So there's all this freedom that we're developing as we're hydrating those tissues, re-educating the muscles. And we can let our leg extend, flex our toes, point towards the ceiling, and then let our toes reach forward and let our hip go. And you can even let that roll towards the top of your foot. You could take a nice yummy reach out. And then as your toes face the ceiling and you flex, let your hip reach into the floor, maybe a little side bend out and over. You might inhale and exhale, arrive. Can you just let your leg go? Nice. And then rolling your hip forward, lengthening across as you inhale. Unfurling as you exhale. Feel that left sitting bone reach into the floor. Feel that left leg lengthen out. Take it out and over. Inhale, unwind. Exhale, let the ground receive you. Inhale, let your hips spiral. Exhale, unwind. Give you a little sweep across. Inhale out and over. Lovely. And as we come up through the middle, we're going to land on our right forearm and we're just going to let our left leg drop behind. Nice. Beautiful. And breathing that left arm overhead. Engagement, lateral flexion through that right side of your spine. Shoulder circle, feel a sense of lifting up and out. Letting the reach of your left hand tip you. Spinning that right palm skyward. And as you reach your right hand out past your left knee, what do you feel in your left hemipelvis? Can you feel how it's hugging up and in? And as you peel across your heart and unfurl, can you let that part of your pelvis and waist glide? Coming back down through that yielding spiral pathway. Inhaling open. Shoulder circle. Exhale, reach out. Inhale as you open. Exhale as you rotate. Let that left hip and waist draw in and under. For that lift in your pelvic floor. And as you unfurl, let it glide. Open and across. Once more. Flow with the breath that feels good for you. And touching into each piece and part. Maybe your heart wants to spin towards the sky. Shoulder circle, rising up. As we soften back through the spiral, receptivity of that right forearm. Let your left leg hang free. You can do just some really relaxed glides here. Just feeling, look at all that movement. You can even squish your own waist. Feel it open, feel it shorten. Beautiful. And then as you reach out through your toes, and look for that yawning reflex sensation. The energy flows out of your fingertips. And shoulder circle. Flex your toes. Hike your head. Inhale, point. Feel the action there in the right side of your waist. And as you change, feel that action move into the left side of your waist. And feel that dance of opposites. Right side short, left side open. And then they don't hold on to their roles. They're not attached. They're like, ooh, right side gets to open, left side gets to work. One more. And they easily transition, adapt from one request to the next. And then just find that balance. Let your knees soften. Rolling on up. Nice. And we're going to just play with a little roll down. Reach up. Circle across your hips. Beautiful. Let's see where we are on time. Never enough time in the day.
So good though.
So I did want to do this one little dancing warrior flow. So we'll do that with the breath that we were practicing at the beginning, which is really nice. So if we're starting with our left foot in front, we're going to spiral up to stand. So we're going to just notice how if we turn our upper body and we let our hip be free, it just comes. Feel that? It just came, and now your foot's on the floor. There we are. And then you can use both hands or just your right arm, whatever you like. And you're going to engage that right side of your waist. And then look at your feet and let them steer and dial and dance along the floor. And take a little roll up and complete the spiral to rise all the way. Wow. That was lovely. Well, let's just start out in a nice open star. Just feel into that full body yawn, toes, fingers. And we're just going to, with our toes facing out, our heels facing in, we're going to let our shoulders and our hips go for just a. And then we're going to gather the energy back in and stretch it up. And we're going to let it go. And gather. Really playing with letting those tissues be totally loose and then feeling that reactivation. Let them go. Gather back. One more time. Nice. And from here, we're going to find a warrior two. So our left toes are going to be forward, right toes are going to be out. Our arms are just going to stretch out. Feeling into a sense of an activation in our arches. So our toes aren't clinging to the floor. They're lightly lifted. They could move at a moment's notice. Yes. And we can just find that little bend through our right knee, feeling the connection of our pelvis, ribs, shoulders, neck, and head. Let's find a little counter-chiral spiral here. Our right palm is up, left palm's down, we're looking at. And then as we change, we're going to extend our legs. Right palm down, left palm up. As we change, we're going to bend our knees, spine. As we change, we're going to extend our legs. Looking towards your upward palm. Maybe inhaling one way. Exhaling the other way. Once more. As you bend to that turned up palm, we're going to find a peaceful warrior, letting our left hand slide in opposition of our right arm up. And as we come through the center, we're going to extend, find the counter chiral spiral, and nice. Inhale through the center, counter chiral spiral, and extend through the center, counter chiral spiral, and send it over. Now let's see if we can do this with that 4-count breath. In, 2, 3, 4, pause, out, 2, 3, 4, pause, in, 2, 3, 4, pause, out, 2, 3, 4, pause, in. Come to a natural breath. Open up. Change your toes. Open up, start, and then swing your heels in, toes out, let it all go loose. And gather it back up. And let this be your own little, how many bounces do you want here? How many bounces does it take to really let your shoulders go? And come on. In my elders classes, we've been practicing letting ourselves shake.
Nice.
That feeling of shaking from your ankles to your fingers. You're like, shake, shake. Like we've lost the capacity to shake. Like shake your shoulder. Like, shake it out. Where can we shake? Where can we let go? And in those spaces we can let go, we have the energy to come into and the full force and power of that potential from that place of ease. So we're going to take our right toes forward, left toes to the side. Just a little out into a warrior two, just feeling-ish. Feeling into it. Feel for that even distribution through your legs, contribution through your shoulders. Maybe stretch your legs, see how that feels. And your knee, feel your tail reaching towards the floor. Standing, bending, and adding that turn up of your left palm. And as you extend the change and turn of your right. Inhaling. And exhaling. Once more. In, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Out. 2, 3, 4. Pause. In. 2, 3. Stay here. And to the back. As we come through the center, our legs reach into the earth. Counter chiral spiral, changing through the shoulders to come through the center as you bend. Counter chiral spiral to tip back. Through the center. Feel that change. Once more with breath. In. 2, 3, 4. Pause. Out. 2, 3, 4. In. Change your toes. Nice little crackles. We're gonna swing our heels in, bend our knees. And then we're gonna stretch our legs into the ground, and as we do, we're gonna swing our heels out so that our hips internally rotate. This can start small. As we bend, feel that change. As we stretch, feel that change. We can add our arms, breathing in, swinging heels in as we bend. You could use your hands here to feel that slice. Coming up. Shoulder circle, bend. And slice. Feel how you're going through a mirroring movement as you bend in reflection to your shoulders and hips. They're laterally rotated. And as you bring extension, they're internally rotated. And then they can unfurl. So you're going to come down into that bend. We're going to let our hands smooth our thighs. Just let our weight shift from one side over to the other. And with where your torso wants to go, it could feel steady, more steady if you're leaning forward. There's that connection of your tail and your crown. Feel how they're in relational opposition to one another. You can walk your hands along the floor and take it lower if you'd like. Maybe just play with your own breath counts and timing and cadence and just feel, how many juicy moments might I take to get here? How can my breath serve and support me in that mindful journey to get there? And through the center here, we could stay up, we could come low. Maybe we're just kind of hanging out in a little straddle. If you're forward folded, start to swing your heels in. Walk your hands up to your legs. And let your hips reach back and find the space. And as we shift our weight over towards our right, we're going to let our left heel lift and that hip swivel in. And we're just going to open it back out. And shift to the left. Let your right toes change in dial. Let your thigh position change and bring it back. How easily do your toes work and adapt with the floor? So this is going to bring us down in a spiral. We want to remember that this leg is free to do lots of things. Internally rotate and externally rotate. So as we come over to the right, we could, as we shift our left leg, bring our left hand to the floor. And then you want to let your hip open. Let your knee go to the side and see if you can roll along the outer landing pads of your leg to come down. How did that feel? Okay, groovy. Sweet. Let's roll down onto our backs. I'm just going to find a couple cycles of our seed to flower to Shavasana. So our seed is that pattern, red light reflex pattern of shortening contraction through the front of our body, internal rotation, and abduction. So we're going to swing our heels out, let our thighs drop in. There's the adduction of our legs, internal rotation of our hips. As we flatten our back and tuck our pelvis, we're going to let our shoulders internally rotate and our arms adduct or add to the center of our body in a spiral. And then from there, it might feel best to tip your head back, or it might feel best to curl your shoulders and your head up. And just feel for that yawning reach. And then slowly coming down. As you unfurl your arms, release through your inner thighs, let your heels swing back in line with your toes. You're going to find this with an exhale, so letting the in-breath drop in. As you exhale, start with the tuck of your pelvis and see if you can feel how the rest of the reflex finds its way in with the swing of your heels, squeeze of your thighs, curl of your shoulders. And then start that release from the center of your body, keeping your low back connected, supported. And then feel from that center seed the sense of unfurling, like petals of a flower, into expanded rest. Once more, exhaling, start with the flattening of your back. And then see if you can let the rest of your body flow and follow into that pattern. Easing down from the center of your body. And tracking that feeling of unfurl, petal by petal. And when you drop, open to the side. Slide that leg out long. And follow that up with your left. Letting yourself receive the gift of your own beautiful breath. And for you to take a moment or two to bring in any supports, make any adjustments, attend to the wisdom and requests of your own soma about what is needed for nurturing here in these moments of rest and integration. Breath. Just find that recalibrated rhythm. Feel your body being breathed. Notice your belly rising and falling. That movement occurring without you having to do anything but allow. As you task your awareness with riding the wave of your breath. All the areas where you feel that inner pulsation of movement. Back of your ribs. Maybe through your shoulders or along your spine. Maybe through the walls or outer wide borders of your ribcage and shoulder. sense of breath from your pubic bone to your breastbone. And the width of your torso. Feel all the parts of your body that are making contact with the earth. Back of your head and neck. Upper back and shoulder. The whole of your torso. Feel where there's weight, where there's weightlessness. Feel your pelvis. Your legs lengthening out from your hips. Relaxed thighs, calves, ankles, toes. Feel the global imprint that your body creates on the earth. From your head to your heels, all the spaces in between. Imagine the sense of your body's outline and impression in a bed of sand. Letting your awareness expand to include the wholeness of you, your whole body. Outer form, inner radiance and animation. Comfortably lengthen and deepen your breath. Allowing the inner stirrings and instinctual arousal of movement. Bring a spontaneous yawn-like movement back into your body. Be reaching your arms overhead as you point your toes, letting your back extend and hug. Steering with your toes and your nose. Off to the left to roll and coil. Taking a moment to find your seat. Maybe smoothing one hand over your heart space. The other over your womb space. Extending this gesture that you can both give and receive. Offering yourself appreciation, tenderness, and care. Receiving appreciation, tenderness, and care. Just taking a moment to decide what you would like to embody as you move into the living practice of life and what this day has to bring. The support of that intention through your breath. Feel into the emotion of every cell and drop of water in your living body, expressing this. And when you're ready, offer it with the breath. Maybe softening your thumbs to pass your brow, planting a seed of thought you can return to again and again. As we are bound to forget. Breathing that to your lips, that maybe words express that which you wish to embody. And breathing that home to your heart. Let this practice be a benefit, not only to ourselves and this community, but to all beings. As we live our practice. Namaste.
Namaste.
Peace.
That was beautiful.